The Mesa Chamber of Commerce Inside Business Podcast brings you a unique view of Mesa through its vibrant business community and the subjects that are important. The podcast is produced in the Mesa Chamber of Commerce Media Studio, sponsored by the University of Phoenix. Our podcast is hosted by Mesa Chamber of Commerce CEO Sally Harrison. Please enjoy this episode of the Mesa Chamber Inside Business Podcast.
And welcome to this edition of the Inside Podcast. I am your sort of guest, lead speaker, not really host. We're a co-host today.
Sure, Bob.
Joining me is our esteemed CEO.
Oh, yeah, here
Sally
I am.
Harrison. Normally you'd be the guy, or girl, sorry, be the girl asking the questions.
The gal.
The gal.
Whatever.
The lady.
Yeah.
The boss. Asking the questions. But today,
Okay.
we're just going to kind of chat.
Sure,
So.
let's just chat because we don't do enough of that, Bob.
I know, right? It's crazy. So, tell us, Miss Harrison,
Yes.
how you're feeling today.
How am I feeling today? You know what? I am actually really excited. We just had Women's Business Connection and learned all about dementia and Alzheimer's. It was very
It was
interesting.
Pam.
Yes, it was Pam. And
Ostrowski.
yes, she's got a great book. And honestly, I think it tied really well into our aging and healthcare, our initiative on the Dementia Friendly Mesa.
Right.
And I think that there's a lot more that our members could do to become dementia friendly. You know, they just need to get on one of those calls and go through the hour-long training. It's simple. We've all done it here.
Yep.
And more than anything, it's awareness, you know.
Well, and we've all had a lot of exposure, I guess,
Mhm.
through a lot of things that we do with Oakwood Creative Care and
Oh,
a
yeah.
lot of our other nonprofits.
We used to have a senior expo.
Right.
Think about the
Right.
attendees, right? And
Right.
you never know when somebody will walk into your business, into your life, that might just need a little extra care, a little extra time. So anyway, yeah, good stuff.
And that kind of kicks us off on our first topic, which is kind of where we're at in this whole pandemic thing. So, you know, it's been a year and what, 4 months, 3 months? March,
It feels like,
April, May.
like 4 years.
It does, but it really has only been a year and 2 months.
Yeah.
So, but
Yeah.
there's light at the end of the tunnel that isn't a train, right? I mean,
No. The train has passed, and we are now looking at opening for in-person events, which is pretty exciting. Obviously, the last 2 months we've had some hybrid committee meetings and some smaller meetings here at the chamber, which has been great to see people. Golf tournament, got to see people
Larry
in person.
Palooza.
Larry Palooza, that was pretty cool.
That was actually really cool. If you
Yes.
get a chance.
Yeah, Boiling Frog Development.
Yeah, that was a lot. That was a really, really good week.
Yeah, it was. But now we are planning for our first in-person monthly program, which will start in July with our Women's Business Connection. So I think there's going to be a lot of fun that comes out of that kickoff meeting and really a celebration, right? That we're back in person.
And I think my co-host Eric Reber of the orientation.
Yeah.
So Eric Reber with Speed Pro, Mason Gilbert.
Time to be in person again.
We are doing a hybrid orientation in June.
Cool.
So definitely make sure you guys, if you're interested in learning more about how to maximize your chamber investment, sign up for that in June. We're probably going to have about 10 people in-house, I think is what we're thinking. So.
Well, and some of our newer members haven't even been to the chamber. We
Right.
haven't
I
met
haven't
them in
shown
person
them
yet.
this fantastic media room that we are in.
It is pretty cool.
It is.
And literally cool.
Oh, it's great. It's great. So
Yeah.
comfortable right now.
And it's sponsored by our friends at
University of Phoenix, who've done a number of podcasts with us in this room.
Yes, they have.
So if you get a chance to go back and listen to some of the old shows, you can definitely catch a lot of topics about entrepreneurism and mental
Yes.
health and.
That's where we need to go next.
Huh?
Lunch.
Oh
need to go
yeah,
get a
we need to go to the
pizza.
pizza place. That's
Yes.
right.
Yeah.
That's right. Because he joined.
Yes.
Like that next
From a
couple days.
podcast. Yeah, that was fun. Yeah. Lots going on.
So, I listed off like 3 or 4 things that we were going to talk about, and I forgot them all. So, we were going to talk about our transition back into live events.
Yes.
And we were going to talk about Media Week. So,
Yes, tell me about that because evidently you have plans that I'm not privy to at this point.
So, as often happens, I make events and like start running with them before I tell anybody.
Uh-huh.
But over the last 3-4 years, we've done a media week where we focus on all of the ways that you can utilize promotion through your chamber investment. So, and really it's important because it is an investment more than it is a membership. You're investing in.
They're investing in their own business.
Right. So what we're doing is we're setting up basically a week. This will be virtual. This one will be virtual. So the week of July 19th. July. I was going to say June and then I went to July. July 19th. Each day for an hour, we're going to talk about a different area that your chamber investment that you can maximize. So cool. Monday, we're going to talk about all the things that come just as part of what you invest in. So like all the stuff that's, oh goodness gracious.
Yeah.
I only have an hour, so it's crazy. And if you've been to orientation, I rarely like squeak in under that hour. But we talk about that. We're going to talk about sponsorships and how to leverage sponsorships to build your brand. We're going to talk about actual advertising, which is separate from sponsorships because they're two different efforts.
Yep.
We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about, oh goodness gracious.
We're going to talk about social media.
We're going to talk about social media. We're going to talk about sponsorships. We're going to talk about different things that you can do engaging with our third-party partners. So, for example, the Compass Magazine just opened up again.
Yep.
We've got a great partnership with AZTV that we're going to talk about.
Yeah.
And then we're going to talk about ways that you can combine all these pieces because really there's a ton of different pieces, right?
Yep.
And ways that you can kind of combine them together to get your message across multiple ways. So
sounds good.
We're going to talk about all that stuff.
Well, and honestly, not that everybody can take advantage of all of those things, but even if you took advantage of a few things, right? Not everybody has the time to do all of those things, but some of those things are working for you in the background, right?
And and there are some members that have decided that something is theirs. So, for example, Ocean Air. Ocean Air, every month, they sponsor a specific segment of Mesa Morning Live when we're in person. That is their segment that they're known for, right? And if you start with something...
I think that was a way to get Mike to commit, right?
Totally.
Yeah, okay, good. Totally. All right, thank you, Mike.
But if you do that, if you own something, you make it yours, right? So it's just like the golf tournament. If you take a sponsorship of the golf tournament and you take that sponsorship, make it yours, the same way that Waste Management takes the entire Phoenix Open and makes it theirs.
Right.
You can build your brand with that because you can communicate with a whole audience of people. So
makes sense.
Yeah, it's pretty fantastic.
Yeah.
We've got a lot going on internally.
Do we?
Yeah.
You mean the additions to our team?
Let's start there.
Yeah.
So we added some new peeps.
We did, yeah. And it was time. We have so much on our plate.
We do have a lot.
We needed some help. So yes, Sherry Eklund, who many of our members would know because she is also a chamber member. Sherry came on board about a week and a half ago to help us with our events.
And she's still here.
She came back the next day. I was like, woo,
crazy.
Yay, party. Yeah, so that's exciting. And she's like so OCD, just like me. I feel like I have a twin here. It's awesome. That is not a bad thing, by the way. And then we brought on Craig Henry, who is a past board chair, and he and his wife owned Express Employment Professionals for years. Frankly, he was at the chamber before I joined the staff, so he's been around a long time.
He was when I joined. I met him because you guys assigned me to the benefits committee.
Yes.
And he was the chair of the benefits committee, so I got to work with him on a regular basis.
Yeah. So
really super guy.
Yeah. So he's going to help us with some larger membership opportunities, and then we have an intern coming in for the summer.
Yeah, that's going to be fun.
Which is awesome because she hasn't even started yet, and we've already got so much work lined up for her. Well, because we are in the middle of...
Don't listen to this podcast, Tara. Whatever you do, stop listening.
Oh, we warned her when we talked to her. But so we are in the middle of a big conversion.
Huge transition,
right?
Actually. It's probably... it's the second time this has happened since I've been here.
So we have a conversion for our database and our website, but in the middle of all that, we're changing to a tiered due structure. So I think, there's an interesting story to tell that we haven't had the opportunity because we've been shorthanded for ever. And so Tara's going to come in and do some writing for us and help tell our story, which will be very exciting.
Well, welcome, Tara.
Yeah.
It's exciting to have you.
Yeah.
It's exciting to have everybody. I mean, I think we're going to be doing a lot of great stuff.
Well, we are doing great stuff. We should just
Especially
do more.
as we come out of the tunnel and we start to really get to stretch our wings again.
Yeah.
But so let's talk a little bit about tiered dues, because that is a big deal, right? I mean, we're changing the whole philosophy about how we approach membership.
Well, right. So instead of focusing on, like we have for years, on how many employees a business has, we are focused on value and what a member gets out of their investment. And I think we've created some really creative tiers. Mm-hmm. We've got some great partners within our tiers doing some fun things, which I'm anxious for more people to learn about. And I think there's some great opportunities now in front of people that we just have to kind of educate everyone as to what the benefits and the opportunities are, and then get everybody started.
Yeah, I think it's going to be. I think as we get into fall, it's going to be a very exciting time.
Yeah.
I think people are going to start to realize that there's a lot more they can do within this new structure than we've ever been able to provide before.
Oh yeah. And, we're in like the best position as far as being in a great city that's big, has lots going on, great economic development, strong educational partners. So, we're focused on workforce, obviously. It's a good time to be here.
Well, I mean, it really is, because then we still have all of our great partnerships, like with MCC and everything like that going on, too. So it's everything that we're already doing is just going to 11.
Yeah.
Because it can go to 11.
There you go.
All right, what else do you want to talk about?
I don't know, Bob. I think that might be it for this round.
This fireside chat, if you will.
Yes. No fire. It's really cold in here. If anybody's visited our media room, you would understand.
We should start calling them the woodpecker side chats, since we have neighbors now.
We do have woodpeckers at our building, which is a little annoying.
We're going to start offering wildlife tours here at the chamber. You can come down and we'll show you all of the apartments, because they're building apartments here at the chamber.
Yeah.
And we'll show you all their apartments. So come on down.
Yeah. Well, we'll just leave it at that. I'd like to get rid of those woodpeckers. Yeah.
All right. Well, hey, thanks for taking a minute and sitting down and spend some time.
And thanks to whoever is listening to us ramble on about all the good things happening here at the chamber.
If you're not a member, reach out, because we do have a great opportunity for you to strengthen your business here in Mesa. Yes. If you're in the region and you just want to get more exposure within Mesa, let us know. Talk to us about what you need.
Mesa, you should be engaged.
We'd love to figure out how to help you, and that's why we exist. So.
It's our job.
All right. Well, listen. Thanks again, Sally Harrison, for joining us on this edition of the Inside Business Podcast. I won't do the end because I know that we've hired somebody. We brought in a professional.
Yes, we do have professional
to actually close the podcast.
Yes.
So,
thank you, Kevin Christopher.
Yes. Thank you to Kevin Christopher for being our voice from the clouds. All right. Take care, everybody. Thanks for listening, and we'll catch up again soon.
This has been a Mesa Chamber of Commerce Inside Business Podcast. You can find all podcast episodes at iTunes, Spotify, or your own favorite podcast website. You can also find them online at mesachamber.org. Content of this podcast is copyright the Mesa Chamber of Commerce, unless otherwise noted.